The knife sliced through the air like lightning, silent, precise, and meant to teach fear. Every cadet in the hall froze as it spun straight toward her face, but she didn't even flinch. Without looking, without breaking eye contact, the human trainee lifted her hand and caught it by the blade. Metal met skin. Silence followed. Then she smiled, slow, calm, terrifyingly confident. "Is class over?" she asked. And that was the moment the Alien Academy learned why you never underestimate a human. If that scene already gave you chills, you're in for something unforgettable. Stick around, because this story dives deep into the academy where humans were supposed to fail, but instead rewrote the definition of fear. Hit like, subscribe, and share this with anyone who loves HFY. Humans are legends. Stories that remind us exactly why humanity doesn't just survive. We adapt. The training complex was carved into a mountain of black glass on the planet Vorthus Prime, a world where even the wind could cut you. Inside its echoing halls, recruits from 50 species trained, fought, and broke bones for the honor of joining the galaxy's most feared legion, the Predator Corps. And that's where she walked in, the only human. Small, soft-skinned, no scales, no claws, no fangs, just calm eyes and a faint smile. The others laughed. "She won't last an hour," someone hissed. Even the instructors smirked. Their kind measured strength by how much blood you could spill, not how quietly you could stand. But the human didn't respond. She simply listened, studied, and adapted. She watched the way their muscles tensed before a strike, the way their tails flicked before a lie. By the third day, whispers had changed tone. She wasn't fast, but she never missed. She wasn't strong, but she never hesitated. And deep down, the instructors began to feel something unfamiliar around her. Unease. Because in every corner of the galaxy, predators had rules. Humans, though, humans broke them. The instructor, Commander Varkesh, stood 7 feet tall, scales like iron, eyes like molten gold. He'd fought wars before Earth even had fusion drives, and today he'd grown tired of the humans' quiet defiance. "Humans learn slow," he said, pacing before the class. "Perhaps she needs a sharper lesson." The room went still. Without warning, he drew a knife, long, curved, and meant to kill, not scare. The air cracked as it left his hand, slicing toward her face faster than thought. The others gasped. Some flinched away. But the human didn't move. Not even a blink. Her hand shot up. Click. The blade stopped. She caught it mid-spin, fingers gripping the steel as if time itself had paused for her. A drop of blood slid down her wrist. Her gaze lifted, steady, unreadable. The silence was suffocating. Even Varkesh's pupils contracted. Then she tilted her head slightly, almost bored. "Is class over?" she asked. The words weren't loud, but they hit like a hammer, because every cadet in that room, predator or not, understood one thing. This wasn't arrogance. It was instinct. No one breathed. The sound of the knife still echoed somewhere in their minds, looping endlessly. Metal, air, silence. Click. Commander Varkesh froze where he stood, his claws half raised. Across the training hall, the other cadets, towering beasts, fanged hunters, creatures evolved for war, stared at the human like she had just rewritten physics. She placed the knife gently on the floor, not thrown, not dropped, placed. A deliberate act of control. "Continue," she said quietly. But no one moved. Every alien instinct screamed the same thing. This wasn't supposed to happen. Humans were fragile, slow, emotional. Yet this one had caught a killing strike without even turning her head. Varkesh stepped forward, his voice lower now. "That was reaction training?" She shrugged. "That was survival." The room felt colder. Some cadets lowered their eyes. Not out of shame, but out of a predator's recognition. They weren't looking at prey anymore. They were looking at something else, something dangerous. Later, when they spoke about this day, they wouldn't talk about the knife. They'd talk about her eyes, because behind those calm eyes was the memory of a species that had fought extinction and won. When the class finally dared to speak again, one cadet whispered, How did you do that?" The human turned, brushing the dried blood from her hand as if it were dust. "Do what?" she asked. "Catch death," someone muttered. She smiled, a small, knowing smile. "Where I come from, we don't get the luxury of comfort. Our ancestors hunted things bigger, faster, stronger, with nothing but sharp rocks and bad weather." She looked at the knife still gleaming on the floor. "Fear isn't new to us. It's just part of the day." The aliens exchanged uneasy glances. "Our bodies break," she continued softly. "But we keep going. That's our code. You fight until there's nothing left, and then you keep fighting anyway." Commander Varkesh's gaze softened just slightly. "And pain?" he asked. "Pain," she said, "is proof you're still alive." No one laughed this time. No one doubted. The cadets, born from worlds of acid oceans and frozen storms, realized the truth. Humans didn't survive because they were the strongest. They survived because they refused not to. And somewhere deep inside each of them, respect began to replace fear. That night, the Academy's corridors buzzed with whispers. Every race had their own version of the story now. A dozen retellings, none less terrifying than the truth. Some said she moved faster than light. Others swore her eyes glowed before the knife struck. But those who were there knew better. There was no trick, no magic, just a human, calm, mortal, breakable, who had stared down death and treated it like another drill. Commander Varkesh wrote the report himself. Threat level, unquantifiable. From that day, she wasn't called the human anymore. She became Instructor Sigma, the first Terran to ever teach at the Predator Corps. Her class motto was carved above the Academy gates: "If you fear the knife, you've already lost." Years later, even on distant worlds, soldiers whispered about her, the one who caught death mid-flight, the one who taught monsters how to fight without fear. And across the stars, when someone doubted humanity, someone always said it. Careful. They learn fast, because legends aren't born from power. They're born from moments, when a single human refuses to blink,